The real reason for AEW backstage heat has been revealed, and a top New Japan star has called out CM Punk. But first, an AEW versus New Japan match has been revealed. In mid-August, New Japan Pro Wrestling announced an upcoming show in London, England, with 2 nights of Royal Quest set to take place from the Crystal Palace Arena on October 1st and 2nd. It would later be confirmed that IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, better known as FTR, will be on the show, and now we know who their opponents will be. The top guys are set to take on the United Empire's Aussie Open, Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis, with the title belts on the line. Unless they appear in the promotion between now and then, it will be FTR's second ever appearance in New Japan, with their debut taking place at the Music City Mayhem at the Nashville Fairgrounds on July 30th, teaming with Alex Zane to take on Aussie Open and TJP, this 1 month after winning the IWGP tag straps at Forbidden Door. Whilst they are champions in New Japan, they have yet to wrestle for the company since that 6-man tag match, and they will be looking for their first win at Royal Quest. So far, only 1 match has been confirmed for Royal Quest, although many names have been announced for the show, including Kazuchika Okada, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Jay White. Next up, an AEW star was pulled from a show. And speaking of New Japan, this weekend, the most recent tapings for their United States-based show Strong would take place, with them having headed to Las Vegas, Nevada for the Autumn Attack. The tapings were set to see Eddie Kingston be part of the action, however, he would be forced to pull out after a positive test, and Kingston would take to Twitter to say, "So here we are, got COVID, won't be able to make Strong this weekend. It fucking sucks, going to test again to see if I can make TV this week." The tapings, which took place last night, would go down at Sam's Town on the Boulder Strip with no Kingston in sight. As of this recording, it's unknown how his second test went, or if he will be in attendance at this week's AEW Dynamite and Rampage tapings, which will go down in Albany, New York, ahead of next week's Dynamite Grand Slam event at the Arthur Ashe Stadium in Queens, New York. Next up, a re-signed WWE star has revealed how he feels about his current run. On July 19th, 2021, WWE would take Karrion Kross, one of the most dominant NXT champions in history, calling him up to the main roster, stripping him of everything that made him special, before jobbing him out to Jeff Hardy in his first match. He would later be released by the Vince McMahon regime on November 4th. Once Triple H took the reins as head of creative, however, following McMahon's retirement, he would re-sign Kross to a WWE contract as one of his first orders of business, restoring him to the star that he was under his watch in NXT. This week, Kross would appear on El Brunch de WWE on WWE's Spanish Facebook page, where he was asked about his current run in the company. He would discuss his goals upon his return and said, "I feel very good about it. When I was leaving NXT for the first time and coming to the main roster, my goal was to compete against Roman Reigns. People would ask, do you want to wrestle Goldberg? Do you want to wrestle Brock Lesnar? Do you want to wrestle Bray Wyatt, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton? Yes, across the board. But I would never ever talk about Roman Reigns because I didn't want him to know I was coming. So I knew at the time I thought I would naturally just get there. So this time, coming back immediately going towards my original goal of competing against him, I feel very, very good about this. This is exactly right where I want to be, right here, right now." He would name drop Drew McIntyre as somebody that he needs to take out to establish himself on SmackDown, with him continuing to feud with him on screen. There is no doubt that Karrion, alongside his wife Scarlett, is the total package, with him set for a main event push on the blue brand. But what do you make of Karrion Kross's return to WWE? Let me know in the comments down below. And next up, we have a rumor killer on a recent rumor killer. In a recent news video, we discussed a report by the Wrestling Observer's Ryan Frederick that the Young Bucks reached out to WWE over a potential move or to leverage a higher offer from AEW. Reports have since emerged that this didn't actually happen, although these appear to have taken a quote out of context. The rumor killer reports reference Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio, who denies saying that the Young Bucks sent out feelers to WWE. The thing about this is that nobody was quoting Dave in the first place, and the initial report came from Ryan Frederick and not Dave Meltzer. Brian Alvarez would ask Meltzer about the report on Wrestling Observer Radio and said, "I think the only thing to really say about it is the story allegedly came from Dave, but Dave didn't report it." And Meltzer would respond, I have never said that to anyone. I mean, they're under contract until the end of 2023. At that point, whatever. Everyone should send out feelers at the end of their deal and go back and forth and see what the offers are. We're a long ways away from that thing. Now, of course, there is a situation here, and if it goes the wrong way and they're let go or something like that, I mean, they were taken out of the open. I don't know how this thing's going to turn out. They're under contract until the end of 2023. We have to wait until a lot of things play out, so I don't know how this thing's going to play out, so leave it at that. But yes, no, I did not report that at all. So what Dave was actually saying was that he didn't report the news, which, well, we already knew. It's also worth noting that Ryan doubled down on his report, confirming that he has heard it from multiple sources, after saying the books did reach out to talent to send feelers and that they would be interested in talking about coming in when their deals are up. Next up, will Roman Reigns lose the undisputed WWE Universal title this year? In August 2020, Roman Reigns would begin his now historic WWE Universal Championship run before later adding the WWE title to his other shoulder, with his Universal reign now lasting 743 days as of this recording. According to a new report from WrestlingNews.co, there are still no plans for Roman to drop the title anytime soon despite recent changes of management in WWE, with the ultimate goal of facing The Rock next year at WrestleMania in Hollywood. And they would write, WrestlingNews.co was told by someone familiar with the creative process that nothing has changed and there are still no plans for him to lose the title this year. And when Reigns turned heel in 2020, the plan at the time was for him to be the champion when he eventually wrestled The Rock, and Vince McMahon wanted Reigns to retain the title, and the idea was, and still is, for Reigns to become a top babyface. The source who is familiar with the creative process told WrestlingNews.co that Triple H is moving forward with the original plans, and the idea is still for Reigns to walk into WrestleMania as champion. The details on the match are not locked in, but the belief is that if the plans stay the same, Reigns would beat The Rock and then lose the title sometime after Mania. It was added that there were discussions for Roman to drop one of his titles to Drew McIntyre at the recent UK pay-per-view Clash at the Castle, however they don't know if Triple H seriously considered it or not. Whilst Roman vs Rock isn't 100%, with it depending on the People's Champion's schedule, WWE is hoping to have him appear on weekly shows leading into Mania. As for Reigns, his next pay-per-view title defense will be at November's Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia, and he is not booked for October's Extreme Rules in Philadelphia. Next up, the real reason for AEW Backstage Heat has been revealed. Ever since his AEW contract expired on August 31st, Bobby Fish has been open with his discontent for CM Punk, taking to multiple interviews to give his thoughts on the Chicago native. One of the issues Fish had with Punk is the way that he was towards him after their match on AEW Dynamite in October 2021, with Bobby speaking in an interview with Steve Fall of NBC Sports, where he said, "There was a little whatever in the match we had, and after the match, Phil was a cunt. Frankly, as a martial artist, I went out and laid my shoulders down for you. You should be grateful that I did, because on national TV, if I decided that I wanted to fucking haku your ass, I could have, because you're that little of a threat in my world." Well, the reason for the heat between the two has now been revealed, and as many predicted on social media, it was due to how the match ended in the ring. After Punk would drop Bobby with a go to sleep, he would pin his opponent for the 1-2-3. However, a split second after the referee counted the 3, Fish would throw his shoulder off the mat, seemingly to make Punk's finish look weak. According to Fightful Select, several people backstage were confused as to why Fish would do that, knowing that it wouldn't go down well. It was added that even some of Punk's detractors have reached out to them over Fish's remarks. One veteran noted that it took CM Punk a long time to get to the pin, but he was actively selling for Bobby Fish in doing so. Fightful were then told after the match there wasn't much communication between Punk and Fish. But who do you think's in the right and who's in the wrong? Let me know in the comments down below. And finally, a top New Japan star has called out CM Punk. It's a commonly known fact that while CM Punk popularized the go-to-sleep finishing move, it was actually invented by Kenta, who now finds himself as part of the New Japan Pro Wrestling roster. Upon the AEW signing of CM Punk last year, one of the Forbidden Door dream matches that comes up often is Kenta vs CM Punk, due to them, well, sharing the same move and styles. Well, this week, Kenta would take to Twitter to not only agree with Bobby Fish's recent comments on Punk stealing the maneuver, but he would seemingly blame him for WWE not allowing him to use it during his run there as Hideo Itami. And Kenta would write, Let the world know, one of my worst experiences in this business is that I was not allowed to use my finishing move for 4 years, a move which I created on my own. What a life. WWE likely stopped Kenta from using the move as to avoid any references to CM Punk as well as CM Punk chants. Kenta has been calling out Punk ever since he signed with AEW, and despite him now being suspended, he still isn't stopping. It's unclear if there is actually any heat between the two men, but if I had to guess, I would doubt there is. But clearly the inventor of the GTS is still adamant on keeping Punk's name in his mouth. With CM Punk's AEW status very much up in the air right now, perhaps he may be looking for a new place to work, with him potentially finding an opponent in Kenta in New Japan Pro Wrestling. But let me know what you think. Will we ever see Kenta versus CM Punk, and will it happen through AEW and the Forbidden Door, or will Punk sign with New Japan? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And before you go, make sure you check out the truth behind CM Punk's secret wrestling returns before AEW.